We wanted to see what would happen if we took a tri-tip that cost $3.99 per pound and treated it like a fancy filet mignon. The way we cook this is definitely going to offend some people, so if you're afraid of trying something new, beware. Welcome back, it's Mike C with HLMBBQ, and tri-tip is easily one of my most favorite cuts of meat, and it's way more versatile to cook than I've been led to believe. It turns out you can do more than just barbecue, so let's make it fancy as hell. Start with half a stick of butter and melt it in the microwave for like a minute, and then grab 5 garlic cloves and give them a good smashing. Peel off the skin, and we're going to press these into the melted butter. We want to infuse this tri-tip with as much flavor as possible, and you can't go wrong with the classic garlic and butter. Scrape that into a bowl, and then get some seasoning. We're going to use Razzle Dazzle, which has some crazy ingredients that go excellent on most cuts of meat. Another thing we wanted to accomplish was cooking this 100% indoors and still getting flame grilled flavor, which we'll show you later on. Sprinkle that into a bowl and give it a whisk, and this is the magical potion for our bougie tri-tip. Because we're treating it like a filet mignon, let's cut off the fat and silver skin of the tri-tip. You could spend as much time as you want trimming this thing up. Honestly, you don't have to remove all that much fat, but for the purpose of this experiment, we're going to remove the fat cap from the bottom and all that other silver skin. I wish it was that easy to lose fat off my body in real life. If you're having trouble trimming off the fat, pop it in the freezer for 15 minutes. Now you'll see the grains run in 2 different directions. Make an imaginary line right at that triangle where they meet and cut it in half. I know this is sacrilegious, but don't be scared. So we have this separated into 2 pieces. Grab the piece that looks more like a filet mignon and stick it into a freezer bag. Unlike a filet mignon, the tri-tip is a much tougher cut of meat, so we're going to, 1, infuse as much flavor as possible, but 2, try to make it as tender as possible. So add that garlic butter Razzle Dazzle mixture, rub it all in over the tri-tip, and we're going to suck out all the air because a majority of this cooking is actually going to be done by sous vide or sous viding. I don't really know how to say it, but anyways, put it in the fridge for 24 hours, and now we're going to pop it into a bucket full of water, grab your sous vide, and we're going to set the temperature to 131 degrees Fahrenheit. That's roughly medium rare, and we're going to cook it for 3 hours. You can go as long as 4 hours. Any longer than that, you have to be careful with bacteria. And a lot of steakhouses actually cook their steak this way because it's easier to do them in batches. Now it's been 3 hours, and we get to move on to the next step, which is actually really fun. Get a oven-proof baking dish or microwave-safe baking dish, and we're going to drain out all of the meat juice and butter and garlic into that dish. Pop it in the microwave for about 30 seconds before you're ready to eat. Now, this tri-tip's been in the bath for 3 hours. I don't know if you've ever taken a 3-hour bath, but it looks kind of weird. So let's get rid of that pruny look, pat it dry, and grab yourself a butane torch. You don't have to do this, okay? You could easily stick this under the broiler. You could cook it in a pan. You could cook it on the barbecue if it's available, but we want to cook this 100% indoors. So for about 10 minutes, you're going to use your butane torch, make sure it doesn't overheat, and get a nice char on this thing. And it kind of looks like a filet mignon. The smell coming off the tri-tip is unreal. Something crazy happened in that garlic butter bath. I don't know what it is, but I really like it. And the thing about tri-tip is being that it's a tougher cut of meat, I actually prefer to cook it to about 138 degrees Fahrenheit, but for the sake of this experiment, 131 degrees was still truly amazing. And the grains of meat are running the length of this portion of tri-tip, so you can cut it into thin medallions. If they're too thick, it's a little too chewy. Now, if you want a tri-tip to be a little bit more tender, you actually want to cook it to a little higher temp like I mentioned earlier, but we want to stick true to filet mignon and get it around the same temp. And now what I'm doing right now is dipping the tri-tip into that garlic butter Razzle Dazzle mixture. And my eyes go a little bit crossed here, but yours would too if you were staring at this piece of meat. It's just dripping in butter, and the flavor makes me feel like I'm at a steakhouse, except all I did was I put this thing in a bath and sparked it with a butane torch. So what's up? Is this a stupid way to cook a tri-tip or something that you would be willing to try? And next time, definitely going to cook it at a higher temp, but I'm not complaining. And to everyone that subscribed to our channel and continues to show up, thank you so much. We couldn't do this without you. And if this is your first time to our channel, then welcome. We're technically a barbecue channel, but we cook pretty much anything that we want to eat, and we want to share those recipes with you, so be sure to subscribe if you like more experiments like this. Happy New Year to everyone. We can't wait to show you what we have planned for 2023. It's going to be fun. With that said, we're probably going to take 1, maybe 2 weeks off to recover from the holidays, and then we'll be back with more beefy goodness. If you need more meat videos, just go check out our channel. We'll see you guys soon.